There's a beautiful question here. What is the role of the parents, the godparents, after the baptism? The question is about the godparents. I'm sure this is a beautiful thought because many of us take it for granted. Godparents. Many forget why they become godparents. It's a beautiful, I would say, remark that is made. There is no mention of godparents in the Bible, this person says. Please explain to us why they should be godparents. You know, in English this word sounds well. You know who are parents. And when you add godparents, I would say godparents are those persons who bring God into your life. They are, I would say, a second set of parents. Like in every match we have the second umpire, we have the third umpire, and they watch from a little distant. The parents are watching from very close. The parents are yours. They take it for granted. But the church has perhaps brought in this institution of godparents as at baptism, because so that the child will be brought up in faith and taken care of, especially in religious matters. This is the meaning of godparents. I understand many people have forgotten their godparents. Many people don't know who are their godparents. In some of the communities, godparents are remembered at the time of marriage. Some gift has to be given to them or brought them. Or sometimes the godparents, some little fuss is made here and there. It's more of a social function that we think. No. It's a spiritual and a religious role that the children have to play. And so, choose the godparents, good ones, who perhaps you know that they are persons of integrity. They are persons who can be good models, role models for your children, and especially take care of them in religion proper. I say choose them properly because sometimes it does happen. It happened to me once when I was baptizing a child. Suddenly I asked, where are the godparents? There was nobody brought as godparents. They didn't know the meaning of godparents. Then someone was praying at the end of the pews there. He was called, come, please stand to be a godparent. That's not correct. Godparents are specially chosen. And the role of the godparents is to help and support the parents in the religious education, the religious upbringing of the child. That is the sign and symbol of the godparents. You know, the institution of the godparents came from the early church. It's not in the Bible. In the Bible, perhaps there are examples where perhaps we can connect with godparents, what we call the sponsors. Sponsors. St. Paul speaks of Mark, who was was helping him, and he vouches for his integrity, spirituality, Mark, and perhaps Mark is the one who has written the gospel. Timothy, perhaps St. Paul also brought up Timothy in such a way, and then he not only became a disciple of St. Paul, he becomes a bishop. St. Paul perhaps promotes him to be a bishop afterwards. So in the early church there was something called sponsors. And the sponsor was the one, it was the time of adult baptism, not children's baptism. So someone who was leading another person to the religion was called a sponsor. So therefore this particular person brought to the elders and said, this person is showing interest in our religion. And therefore the sponsor followed him throughout, brought him for instruction, took him for the services. He was like a guardian angel to them. And so at the time of baptism, the sponsor stood as a guarantee that this man will not betray God, betray the religion. And therefore, the sponsor was almost the one who made promise on behalf of the person that was to be baptized to say that I know him and I can vouch that he is a good man. And then the church entrusted the sponsor, today what we call the godparents, to take care of him in religion, to help him and support him. And therefore, the relationship with the godparents was a little more stronger and a bigger one than his own parents. The parents are natural. And many of the things are overlooked. But godparents are ones who can lead the really people and should lead the godchild into faith and religion, religious practice, good morals. I know of a godmother. She was also a catechism teacher. And in this class, perhaps she realized that my godchild has not come for catechism, not once, twice. She went to the house, fired the mother and said, "You may be the mother, but I am the godmother. And as godmother, I have to do my duty of bringing up this child in faith. And henceforward, she will never miss catechism. I will personally come and take her." And the godmother and godchild had an excellent relationship, that the godmother really took her not only as a child, but as a child in faith. This is the role of the godparents in baptism, and I hope that you will follow it. You will choose good godparents, and the godparents will realize what they are up to, the responsibility they have taken before God in order to bring up the child. Tomorrow, if this godchild of yours becomes something special, something great, surely a credit to the parents, but a credit also will come to the godparents, because they have been the examples, models of faith. I wish you a very happy weekend. God bless you in your families. Thank you.